And when Angel Reese comes out and says, she ain't the only one everybody's watching, they're watching me too, they're watching others, a day later she gets ejected.
I'm still a human, like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day, I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like...
Won a national title. She didn't celebrate with her teammates. She mocked Caitlyn Clark. So there's jealousy there. I certainly see that with her. I don't know about the league.
After receiving harsh criticism from the experts, Angel Reese lost it completely. And let's face it, it was long overdue. The girl has been raving about Caitlyn Clark's historic 35-point showing on September 15th, but she brushes it off as luck. Really, Angel? Is 35 points only a result of luck? If luck was all that was needed, perhaps you ought to investigate the hiding place of yours, as it's not making an appearance on the court. And yes, we all recall the Indiana game when you slammed Caitlyn because you couldn't take any more of her amazing performance in front of you. Your team literally lost the entire game because of that one jealous outburst. Now that Clark is breaking records rather than heads, at least the experts are speaking up about it. She lacks class now. And if you're going to play the race card and claim that Caitlyn is receiving all the attention because she is white and Angel is being roasted because she is black, then let's take a moment to discuss Stephen A. Smith. When it comes to voicing his opinions, he's not exactly shy. And guess what? He is also black. Angel is just another person to whom he shows no mercy. This man is the largest and most vicious roaster of Angel you'll find online. Stephen A. Smith has been producing videos nonstop at a completely new level, essentially putting Angel's strategy to the test. It goes beyond merely impulsive opinions either. He's dissecting game film, releasing numbers, and demonstrating why Caitlyn Clark is in a whole other level. Looks like Stephen has gone into full professor mode, breaking down why Clark is so much ahead of us play by play. And Angel? Yes, it appears that she is not managing it well. Angel even had a breakdown in a recent interview, sobbing uncontrollably about how experts like Stephen are out to embarrass her, instead of focusing on improving her game and trying to position herself as the face of the WNBA while Stephen is out there talking. She even made the extremely severe claim that they are sexualizing her. However, rather than accepting the possibility that Caitlyn Clark is garnering attention because she's genuinely killing it, Angel is avoiding reality as if it were a bad pass. Stephen A. is only stating the facts. He is not making any personal jabs here. Caitlyn is in charge, and Angel needs to acknowledge that. Furthermore, it's not just Stephen. Angel is receiving calls from all throughout the sports industry. She's behaving like everyone is picking on her, but instead of owning up to it and improving, she's trapped in full victim mentality. Really? In the very competitive Women's National Basketball Association, you react angrily the moment someone calls you out. Consider the most recent matchup with the Dallas Wings. Caitlyn Clark left the room, putting up 35 points and leading her team on an incredible rally in the fourth quarter to win by 1 point. This girl is creating history each and every time she takes the court. Angel, in the interim, she's crying outside over how cruel people are. Stephen A. Smith is the most audible voice reminding us that this isn't really a competition at this point. He is dissecting it using objective, cold facts. Reese is falling short of Clark in every significant area. However, I believe she has profited. The WNBA has profited due to Caitlyn Clark and the media attention. But Angel simply can't seem to accept that for some reason. She continues to insist that she is the WNBA's face and that anyone who challenges her is undermining her. Quite frankly, professionals such as Stephen A. aren't even attempting to undermine her. All they're doing is bringing her smack dab of reality. They're telling you that even if you have potential, you're not the best at this moment. Rather than play the victim, concentrate on improving your status. However, Angel, she doesn't notice the real battle is taking place on the court since she is too preoccupied protecting herself from these unreal attacks. And she's losing at the moment. The highest ever ratings for a WNBA draft, $2.446 million, was received. More than 1.5 million people watched the doubleheader that began this season, which was more than the WNBA had seen in almost 20 years. All of this is happening to you. Recognize that Caitlyn Clark is unique. The more radiant Caitlyn is, the more vocal Angel's grievances become. Angel goes into yet another dramatic outburst after Clark puts on another record-breaking performance. It functions as a clock. Angel slides and Caitlyn takes control. Furthermore, Angel is too engrossed in her own story to realize that Stephen A. Smith and others are virtually pleading with her to examine the facts. She is behaving as though the world is against her rather than accepting the truth. In actuality, she's simply falling behind her. Next, Patrick Bet David is revealing shocking information. To be honest, Angel's situation does not appear to be promising. Patrick claims that Angel's jealousy is so blatantly apparent that it virtually spills over into every post-game interview she does. Really, it's evident in her reaction each time Caitlyn's name is spoken. Is it reasonable to hold her accountable? Her performance is no longer even a topic of inquiry for reporters. It goes directly to the Caitlyn Clark program. That must hurt, especially for a rookie like Reese, who was hoping to enjoy the limelight and had it taken away from him by Clark, who was out there putting up ridiculous numbers as if it were just another workday. Furthermore, she goes all out to make her own game sound much more amazing than it actually is whenever someone asks her about it. When Patrick Bet-David indicated that Angel was experiencing a severe recognition crisis, he was spot on. Yes, Caitlyn Clark is talented, but really, it seems insignificant that she is smashing records and generating headlines. Reese's interview has essentially evolved into a support group where she lets out her frustrations over constantly being compared to Clark. Though to be honest, it's beginning to sound like a broken record. The irritation is real. Angel, we understand you believe there is a media fixation on Caitlyn, but is Clark really that excellent, or is it really unfair? And is it really the fault of the media to do this? Really, Clark's numbers are screaming, not just talking, nor is this a one-time event. Clark always puts up a clinic or breaks a record when she walks onto the court. Now, let's get genuine. It's easy to see where Angel's irritation stems from. It's not only Caitlyn is superior, not that Caitlyn is good. It's driving Reese crazy to see all the attention go to Clark. Every news conference becomes an opportunity to show admiration for Caitlyn Clark, leaving Angel on the sidelines, both literally and symbolically. When he said Patrick Bet-David really hit the mark. The relationship between Angel Reese is not good. Additionally, Angel Reese has made fun of and roughed up Caitlyn Clark on a few occasions. However, that shouldn't influence whether or not it's a flagrant one. Painful but true as well. The absurd thing is how obvious Angel's annoyance has turned into. Every time she laments how unfair it is that Clark is receiving all the attention, you can hear it in her voice. The really bad news is this: it's not in any way unjust. Angel should be angry at herself for falling below Clark's level of play, as he is simply requiring attention. However, this is what the public will accept. They will require only that particular play there. The fever prevailed, and Caitlyn Clark performed brilliantly. Well, they're not too bad. That's why she's played quite well in 2 of her last 3 games. And I added that if she took a short break and got some rest, you could see that by the conclusion of the season, they would be playing their best basketball. Consider Clark's recent 11-point surge in the 4th quarter. That was the kind of mental toughness that distinguishes the exceptional from the good. It was more than just skill. Angel won't have another moment like that this season, so people will continue to question her about Clark until they do. It's almost humorous. Angel always reminds everyone that Caitlyn is the one raising the bar, no matter how often she grumbles about being compared to her. Not everyone understands me simply because I played in the WNBA for 10 years. Or the NBA, the PGA Tour, etc. That is not how it operates. Supply and demand are at play. Is their goal to purchase your shoes, or do they not? Would they like to play hoops with you? Are they interested in playing with Wilson? After all, that's the main point of this. No, it's not I outperform her. Perhaps you are. Experts in the media are merely responding to what is occurring on the court. They are not making fun of Angel. All they're doing is expressing the evident. It goes without saying that Clark will get all the attention if he is out there playing legendary basketball and Angel is just sort of there. Patrick Bet-David explained everything really well. The true problem for Angel is that she isn't ready to accept that Caitlyn Clark is the league's future, and she will continue to spiral into furious wrath until she does. Furthermore, it's impossible to overlook Geno Auriemma since people pay attention to one of the best basketball coaches in history. I believe that you need to account for that, or that others have already done so. Ought to inquire, is she doing this? Would she have treated someone else in this way? I'm not sure. Is that a basketball move, in my opinion? Yes, I do. This man did not become a legendary athlete by eating sugar, covering any object, and he didn't hesitate to speak on the entire Angel Reese vs. Caitlyn Clark controversy. His statements, cruel, but exactly right too. Geno stated unequivocally that Reese's mindset contributes to the issue. To be honest, he's not entirely incorrect. He made it abundantly evident that the WNBA is not a playground for pampered athletes. Reese has more in store if she believes she has already achieved success. She appears to be managing it well. I believe she speaks lots of ST, and she receives lots of ST in return. She gives it her all, thus she deserves everything that comes her way. She simply isn't built for this league's brutality. She also lacks the quickness to avoid the physicality. Therefore, as Diana mentioned, there is a steep learning curve. Diana Taurasi has been tutored by Geno, the greatest of the best. Breanna Stewart, Sue Bird, you name it, she's seen it all. You can tell he's coming with receipts when he talks. He essentially criticized Reese for appearing as though she had already achieved success in an interview on September 12, 2024. Geno asserts that there is a significant distinction between being a star and a superstar, and Reese still doesn't know the answer to it. And once she understands, her exceptional skills will be of great use to her. Indeed, she should be a part of a stronger squad. And that criticism coming from someone like Auriemma is spot on. Tougher than a simple clinch. He has coached real superstars who had legendary careers rather than simply a few outstanding games. He has witnessed what it takes to be a long-term success. And as he looks at Reese right now, he sees someone who is too preoccupied with believing that she has already arrived. In the interim, Caitlyn Clark, Geno is always complimenting her on her tenacity and work ethic. He was really explicit about it. Clark did not become the person she is now by waiting to be given the limelight. Reese needs to start taking notes, and she deserved it. Not to mention, it was under the tutelage of this very coach that Breanna Stewart became one of the all-time greats. Geno has a knack for making gifted athletes into household names. And what about Reese vs. Clark? These are facts, not simply opinions.